Hello, we're back. StehnZ here. Episode 4, Walk Behind the Watchman. Where we left off was we were going into the wood, trying to find the right influence in order to pass this test. We're going to see if this wood whisper is the right thing. I mean, it mentions wood. We're going to find out. If it's not, we'll have a little nightmare like we talked about in the last episode. Quick reminder that if you enjoy this kind of long-form content, like you see me playing in this game and others, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Very small channel at this point. It could help me grow. It's up to you. We studied the cult scrap, or we were... oh no. We got an occult scrap from something we studied. Could have read that. My bad. Got distracted with the pitch. To talk about. Shall we hit up the street corner and talk like a crazy person? Yes. Good opportunity to learn to read one of our extra books we've got here too. Wrapped in the King. Go ahead and get that studied. The dances draw from the traditions of the mystery, of the cults of Isis and the Bell, but include both symbolic and literal flayings. Ooh, and the human heart is always central in the rites. Ooh, this sounds like to be like a art. The author punctuates his accounts with queasily sensuous descriptions of his own interrupted feasts. Ooh. Alright, so that's pretty bloody, but let's learn about it. Oh, here's the cop. Cop's coming back, doing some stuff. Fleeting reminiscence from getting over our visions from the last episode. Well, let's speed things up and start to plow through this. He found Mystique. That's actually a good thing. From the cop. How did our job go? Last to leave with the Elder Glover. He's an annoyance, so we may want to find a way to get rid of him. He does want us to come to work pretty often. Not enough time to do other things, but you know what? It's 3 gold a session. We are well paid for that, and this is going to give us that kind of cash that we're going to need in order to buy up all the books. Give me all the books. Ooh, we met a person, Sylvia. Sylvia lost her eye in the woods when she was 9 years old. Every year, at Candlemas, he returns to the place she buried it. Wow. Okay, let's make sure we get her into the team. Ooh, notoriety. 2 notorieties with the cop up here. This is kind of sketchy. We're gonna have a bit of a problem here. Probably want to cool it. It's kind of rough timing. Well, let's slow it down and maybe just buy some books, yeah? Heading to the shop. I feel like this cop is going to have a case here pretty soon if he grabs both these notorieties. Enough to improve the evidence that he's carrying. The damning evidence. Oh, he grabbed a Mystique. Alright, we've got a lantern, a little event to lighten the skull. Some lantern-y things were happening. This doesn't seem right. This looks like a nightmare. I dreamt of the opening doors, red doors and gold doors, and doors of glass and doors bound like books, and railway carriage doors and castle gates. Huh. Behind one of them was something I seek. I woke with the slamming of doors still in my ears. So, okay, just a labyrinth of doors, and it's not the right door. But we're still here with the way of the wood. We did not find the resolution that we were looking for. Might as well dream on the wood. Spend our passion on it. We'll just head back in there. See if we can get lucky. I don't think we're going to find our solution just dreaming of the wood every night, but we keep finding stuff. It allows us to use that verb in order to just better our situation. Alright, we found a book. The Viennese Conundra. Nico van Driel describes odd events in Vienna. The disappearance of children, epidemics of parasite activity, animal mutilations, gross, nightmares of worms, the activities of charitable organizations, the New Legions. that fund the burial of the poor. Okay. She proposes peculiar connection between these activities. Okay, so it's a book, maybe conspiracy. A lot of different factors here. A lot of ins and outs. Good book to buy, nonetheless. We're going to keep shopping while we have this extra money. Head back into the store. We read Wrapped in the King. What's our conclusion from reading it? At these greater feasts, a black pig is always crowned as king before its slaying. On this occasion, its heart was weighed in the balance against a knot of feathers, and its skin became a cape for the officiant. Its flesh was left for the crows, but I must confess my interest was not in its carcass, but in the perfumed flesh of the milliner laid fresh in the earth. I don't know what that means exactly. But this is a bloody book. That much we're going to gather. Gave us vitality. That's right, I'm expecting... Yes, we got a level 6 heart. Wow, that's a powerful one. So, it's a waking chant. Who could hear this and remain unmoved? The sleeping, the dead, the earth, and the sky? Okay. Can summon a monster if we use it with the right stuff. This is a big chunk of, the term for these things are lore. Level 6 lore. Okay. Very interesting. We're going to study the next book here. When the individual K attends meetings, black dogs are sacrificed and quartered. When the individual M is in attendance, black mares are found with their throats slashed. This is gross. I propose that these sacrifices are not necessary, but that our Legion friends may consider them fitting. Here with diagrams of the mutations. Oh boy, we have to read about that. That's okay, I mean, it's gonna get dark. That's what I've been saying. We do what we gotta do. Now when this expires, he's just gonna have notoriety to grab. So this case is gonna get really gnarly quickly. Here's a free erudition from that event. We may end up just having to put the guy down before he takes us to trial. Alright, we bought a book. The Victory of the Crowns. Erratic accounts by one Arun of the hunting and consumption of supposed immortals by shadowy cults of assassins. Okay. Published in the late 19th century. We could read this one. We're going to go back to the bookstore because we're still ahead on money. I am concerned about this case, though. This is really going to be a problem. We're going to keep working. But we do need to figure something out, whether we need like a new location, something to get out of this case. Next is notoriety, and then when this expires, we'll grab the other notoriety, and then we're going to be a right bloody mess. Let's grab this occult scrap. This helps us find secret locations of the capital. Okay, we've read this one before. This is a repeat dream for us. We'll save that scrap. Bring the wood back. And back in there. With passion. Alright, we better hang her on. Ooh, okay, that helps. Steak. Why don't we try to recruit Sylvia, or will that give us notoriety? Maybe we'll get just Mystique if we recruit like a regular follower instead of a person. Can we fire any of these in trappings? I don't think we can just trap these away. That would be too easy, wouldn't it? Well, let's try something. We'll get one of these hanger-ons. Oops. Do that with this. Ooh. Excuse me. Mirror. Ceremony. Secret. Trap the dread. Oh, why did that happen? Get it together, StehnZ. Get it together. Trapping dread. Having a little lantern party. And hoping that this will give us notoriety and not... I mean, no, whoa. I was hoping this will give us mystique and not notoriety. Alright, so we read the Viennese Conundrum. Medusa's riddle, then, I choose to render as what is not seen. There is another riddle. One I have heard rendered as what may be lost. I will delineate some historic attempts to answer it. These are in themselves, in some sense, sacrifices. Okay. The glimmering was awarded for that. And a level 6 moth essence. We're getting very mothy now. This is the Agnes parable. Okay. The riddle is what may be lost. Each parable is an attempt to answer the riddle. Could this be what's going to get us through? I think we should try this. I mean, I feel like we know that the wood is tied with moth. So I feel like moth is a potential solution. So I'm gonna stay with it. We're gonna read this Victory of the Crowns. The assassins are, according to Arun, agents of a power called the Colonel, a soldier of the Secret Masters. The accounts go all the way back to the Roman times. Yeah, this sounds like a good book. Let's read that. We found another book. We're buying up tons from Moreland's shop this time. This has been basically book selling marathon, or book buying marathon. Compiled by Asti Tasmain from the oral traditions of rural Persia. Ooh. Probably gonna read that. Back to the bookstore. Just keep going with it. Keep going with it. Or I should just be like exploring, try to get someone else who has the right stats so we can attack one of these things and maybe change headquarters. I feel like that's another way to get out of crime. Okay, we didn't get a mystique by doing this. But we did bring this pawn in to our side, who is just a one-edge pawn. Okay. What do we do about this? Talking of the secret might be enough to generate that extra mystique. And we're going to hope that it picks this mystique this time, and then a few more times of getting lucky and this whole thing will go away. Considering evidence, he has enough notoriety. He doesn't seem to have the evidence. I don't know where the evidence is. If a hunter has found notoriety, they will try to use it to create or upgrade evidence. If they're meticulous, they'll always succeed. If they're erratic, they're more likely to fail. But they can occasionally create evidence even without notoriety. Ooh, they fabricate evidence? He doesn't seem to have any of those stats. What is he? He's mortal. He's a hunter. He's just a guy. He's just the wary detective. He's just a guy doing his job. Well, he found notoriety. I think he's going to attempt to get a case together. Hopefully it's not that good of a case. I mean, we will find out really quickly here about how much trouble we're really in for all that we have done. Get back to work, though. On what is contained by silver, a bestiary by Pomander in Greek. Well, we don't speak Greek, but let's take the book nonetheless. Let's explore, look out for some secret places in the city, see if we can get like a better location that we can start raiding. Let's use these scraps we've been pulling out of the wood. And back into the wood. another occult scrap. That's probably going to be all the locations, but let's just take it. It really can't be a bad thing. Okay, we've read this one. This is how we get the scrap. Wood back. Keep farming the wood. Farm away. You have the passion for it. A little bit of bleak thoughts, not too worried about that. I'll do the Victory of Crowns by Arun. Arun's scholarship is dubious, but she writes pithily. Incidents of sudden and violent death are interspersed with aphorisms. Ours don't dream, for a long try not to. What? Well, hey, this is some basic edge stuff. Edge lore? A knife secret? Level 2 edge lore, so basic. When our ancestors forged swords, taught the arts of martial movement, spoke curses on the eve of battle, all these things shared certain patterns. Cool. I suppose there's nothing better than just churning out some studying. Is this the one that's in Greek? Yeah, we can't read the thing that's in Greek. But we can get this winter piece. Study the white. On closer investigation, the work seems to be theory of aesthetics, or perhaps a set of warnings about the dangers of painting. Okay, okay. I'm hoping that's going to be winter. Use a nice blue of everything. Should I take this thing out and try this? See if this level 6 lore is actually the right thing. Yeah, because we don't know what the clue is, but it says... Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to try this. If I have a nightmare, so be it. Alright, what did the cop do? He has tentative evidence. I think that's pretty much what he found before. I am certain that my adversary has lodged a copy of their notes somewhere with their solicitor, with their superior, even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. So, there's our evidence. He found stuff. We don't want him to upgrade that. A little sketchy. Okay, we met an acquaintance while we were talking in the streets. Looks like this despair is going away on its own. We found a place, St. Agnes's Hospital. We might want to go visit this one. They did good work here once. Certainly, there were a few too many amputations. But then there are individuals, oops, who would prefer not to walk the city streets. Interesting. We'll put it with our other locations. Let's find some more secret places. Get all the locations. Glover to Glover. With our $3. Really getting paid here. Whoops, really making that money. I don't know why I put money in there. That wasn't thinking. And our reason? Had to work. Ooh, we're sick? Come on. Fleeting reminiscence because nothing happened from the dread. Alright, we studied that winter book that we had bought. Usher writes distractedly of his hatred of colors and his yearning for death. He hints at a great work he has envisaged, or begun, where the palest of paintings will enthrall the world. He returns again and again to certain compelling phrases, which he claims are the secret words of winter. Alright, level 2 winter lore. A sexton's secret. Certain knowledge, it is said, can be expressed only through the particular quality of a silence. It has been suggested that one can only read such knowledge with one's eyes closed, but only by mischievous commentators. Cool. Winter lore achieved. And we will read this next book, The Burning of the Unburnt God. Tasman hypothesizes a pre-Zoroastrian fire deity, whose rites were the rites of smiths. This sounds like a forge. It's orange. Sensing some serious forge here. I had a profound and restful sleep. I dreamt of nothing at all, because this wasn't the right thing. So it didn't give us a nightmare, but it wasn't... it wasn't the right solution. It looked like the right solution. I felt like it was. I had a hunch and it was wrong. So in we go. Into the wood. The moth action? Okay, we met another person. Rhaenyra, an acquaintance. Rhaenyra has been found not guilty 3 times in 3 separate jurisdictions. She will likely never be found guilty of anything. Okay. Well, I'll put her with my other acquaintance, Sylvia. We have to get both of these folks into our cult as soon as possible. I just wanted to have a correct ratio of mystique to notoriety before this guy did something crazy and started creating another case. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that. So I think we can just get in there, start bringing some of these people in. Start with you, Sylvia. I don't have anything I want to trap. Alright, we're recruiting a member. Right, we found the Forgotten Mithraeum. Curiosity seekers have picked over this ancient temple, but there may be a hidden door here somewhere. Okay. Let's do that last occult scrap. Should be pretty close to getting all the locations out of the capital. Or when we can start raiding it. Tristan interludes should give us some contentment because we don't have a partner. This moth thing, a half-glimpsed wistfulness, has touched me. The moth has made us restless. Typical. We are sick with an affliction. We got sick. It happens. And now Sylvia has joined. She's also moth. Sylvia has a detailed knowledge of roof ridges, of the river at low tide, of Irish whiskey, and of conjuring tricks. Welcome aboard. Okay. Quick beverage here. Alright. Recording going. Do we want to do another recruiting? Get rid of that restlessness. Yes. Bring her in. This is another cult member that hasn't joined us. We're going to bring the Watchman secret, and we're going to trap this restlessness in case we have some dread problems coming up here. Good, good, good. Contentment from solitude. Back to the wood we go. We're going to check the Temple of the Wheel. This was wrong. Got an influence spell. Things this temporarily. What happened from studying this burning of the unburned god? Tasman ultimately concludes with apparent reluctance that the deity was a goddess. He suggests that its gender may have been the cause of its suppression. The rites described are often eerie, sometimes grisly. Ooh, rite of the Crucible of Soul. We got a spell. This rite uses an instrument of power to set the blood of fire. Fire is the legion of the skin of the world. The assistant rarely survives unharmed. Wow. Rite allows you to combine aspects to perform summoning. I wonder what this would do. This is bizarre. So we have a spell. We can cast this. We're going to keep these over here. Set someone on fire? Why would we do that? Well, here's our forge lore that we got from it, an ardent orison. When we watch a fire, what are we watching for? When we find it, these are the words it will speak. A word that sanctifies the change that comes when the seared skin peels. Well, we needed forge, you know? So, what shall we study? Do we have any more books to read? We have a book in Greek we can't read. Looks like we're just kind of sitting on our study for a round. Back from the wood. Into the wood we go. Do we want to just try? How do we get through this? If I find the right knowledge, I might be able to find the way beyond it. How does one find the way beyond the wood? That... I have no idea. We're just gonna use passion again because I don't know where to begin with that. Alright. Still doing well money-wise. We're gonna keep that going. Build up a nice surplus here. Really rocking that day job. Lantern action, and we brought over a chalice person, is Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra continues to pursue her appetites discreetly, although her ambitions have grown. Nice. Anybody to talk to over here? Yeah. Street corner shouting it will be. Alright, we found another location from that occult scrap. It's the Congregation of St. Felix of Schwerin, a nonconformist enclave of a heterodox sect of a Calvinist offshoot, tucked away in an odd corner of the city. They belt out hymns with unsuitable gusto in a throat-scraping language that is very much not quite Latin. I guess we might be able to just walk in there and talk to those guys. About time we start going into some of these places, yeah? Do we have anybody that wants to get involved with that? We have to pick something and start going in there. Let's start with the hospital. What are we going to find in the hospital? I could send an expedition here to find books or treasures. tools of power, but I need followers to send and funds to supply them. Well, we have funds, and we gotta have 2 folks. So, do we want to attempt to go in there with a little bit of edge? We try like a kind of spread it around. Try edge and moth. We'll send a buck. Only echoes walk the hospital halls now, but malice lingers in the air. We must search meticulously, room by room. Okay. So we're going to spread it out so that if we need to bring a 3rd person, we can hopefully guess that it's either moth or edge. Bring both the funds. Let's just start with all the money in case it takes a bunch of extra turns. Time we're starting. We're going to raid the hospital. We're going in there. It's time to... we're taking it to the streets, folks. We're actually now... the cult is going into things. It's doing stuff. Visions are starting. What do we got for the light in the skull? Erudition. Don't need to do anything with that. We're back in the wood. Grab that peculiar rumor. Let's go ahead and cure our affliction too. Good time to just get some regular old rest with this vitality. Just need time to heal. Get over that sickness. What you got here? Dry soul curse. We need heart or lantern to suppress this curse. Otherwise it will not keep us from our goal, but it may trouble us later. What? Heart or lantern? Well, I have chalice. I don't have lantern. I don't have heart. I picked the worst possible thing. We're just gonna get cursed. Wow. Well, I'm an idiot. Typical breakdown. It's okay though. It's like things aren't always going to go right. You know, we're going to have to deal with this curse. There's hopefully a way that I can get rid of it in the future. I don't know how. Curses really suck. And we're about to be hit with it. The dry rot curse is going to cost... it's going to take away one of our stats. Without lantern or heart. Don't have lantern or heart. We have nothing like that. Oh, sad times. Okay, got through visions. We healed up our health. Back to the wood. Spent a lot of time in there. It's a good place to go. And here comes that dry rot curse, because we did nothing. We have no solution for that. But it does get rid of the... We do take the hospital, but it's not worth it for a curse. We're absolutely screwed. Slee. Craig Slee, an astronomer and avant-garde poet, has developed an interest in the esoteric as his health wanes. Alright. He looks like a gaunt fellow. We will recruit him when we get the opportunity. When we have something worth trapping, I would say. For now, is there anything we can talk about? Talk about the esoteric matters. Instead of recruiting a hanger-on. And what's this curse going to do to us? Not yet taken effect, but when it does go into effect, what it's going to do is it's going to consume something of ours, one of our passion or one of our reasons, in which case we're just going to stop everything and try to get that back. which I think we can just do by doing the process over again, I'm assuming. Or it might be like, nope, that is permanently gone. Your character is now worse for the rest of the game. And we don't... I really would hope that that's not the case. I would like to think that we can just get it back. But if we can't, we just have to live with that we're, like, weaker. Because we decided to go into a hospital and we didn't have the right thing. That seems unfair, right? It's like, it's a brutal. Nothing happened from the despair. We got cravings. It's probably going to bring our enlightenment. Lighten the skull for some more erudition. We may be using this really soon. Especially if we lose that reason. So I'm actually just going to, since I'm not doing anything with it, we're just going to turn this erudition into a lesson learned. Because I have the bad feeling that it's going to take away my reason. So this will help us get a little closer to repairing that reason. Should it be gone. Let's go to the well this time. A vitality. Okay. What does vitality from here do? Is this going to be our clue? The well in the wood is sacred to the Grail, the hour that hungers, and to the velvet, the hour that guards secrets. Tonight as I approach it, heaved with the velvet's moss, struggling waves of deep and vibrant green, pulsing again and again from its throat. It surged around my calves, rose to my thighs, and this morning I still felt the velvet's breath strong within me. Weird encounter in the dream. And it gave us vitality, that's okay. Back to the wood we go. Have the passion for it. Looks like we reached the end of this mission. The Violet Chamber. What was this place? The door bore no sign. There were no windows. The walls were painted a rich violet, rich even now after the ravages of rain through the leaking ceiling. A rotting chair has leather straps on its arms. The floor is porcelain and runneled. Okay, so we found like a weird testing place inside of the hospital. I don't know why I say testing. Just a strange room in the hospital. Yay. Well, we can possibly get rid of that restlessness when we do a little trapping. Oh, we met a patron, so we need our reason. Okay, we got stuff. The Violet Chamber. There is a padlocked cupboard in the wall. It does not long resist our strengths. It contains instruments tipped with flint and glass. Instruments one would not expect a surgeon to use. It contains other matters more of interest to us, too. We got the stained glove, so this is like an item, a tool that we can use in certain things, and it's a chalice tool. What uses have these known? What lessons might they teach my hands? Certain rites, we're going to go high chalice, and we're going to need these. We also found rose pearl dust. This might be used in paintings. Pearls are sacred to the witch and sister. Especially those of this color. They have been used in protective rites, amongst others. Okay, so we're going to put these somewhere else, like with our painting stuff, in case we decide to try to paint something special with it. Now we found a book. The Locksmith's Dream Trespasses, in the third volume of Teresa Galmier's Examination of Parallels in the Mystic Dreams of Artisans. Locksmith, purple, this could be knock element, and that's going to be very helpful for some things. I know some stuff in the capital really does require knock. So let's set this book around here. We can read it. The Rose of Hypatia, marked with the tripled sign of the arcane contemplative order known as the Sisterhood of the Knot. This one's in Greek, though, so we got to put it with our other Greek book. The hospital's empty. So I believe it's the location. Phantoms, the neighbors say, still walk the echoing halls here. If we take possession, of course, they will leave, or we'll turn them to our use. It looks like it's going to be a place that we could potentially move to as a headquarters. Here's our fund back. This bit's back from the the job. Rose is back from the job. And we got a notoriety. Typical. So we want to explore something else again. The congregation of St. Felix of Schruren. We might want to go after these monks. But that's going to be even more notoriety. But we maybe want to pool it on that, and instead we're going to go book shopping. I like one notoriety is okay, but I don't want a ton of that. I want this evidence to go away. I want everything to kind of cool off before we start raiding more places. We have to balance that. See, look, he's getting right back to work. So this is all around bad. Cop is just all over us. It could be that our game will end to the police, and that's okay. There may be ways to kind of get rid of them by going into the hospital, changing our location. But we're going to try to see if we can get out of the temporary headquarters, switch hospital, and then maybe that will start freezing up this guy. Don't grab the notoriety. He didn't. He grabbed the mystique. We're okay. Grab the peculiar rumor. Got our lesson learnt. This thing's going to go into effect soon and be a real bummer. Back to the wood. Back to our day job. We should have room to study this knock book. In this volume, notoriously, Galmir's prose begins to disintegrate, and it's not clear which dreams are in fact her own. I can relate to that. Skeleton songs. Poems of greedy delight composed by the possibly pseudonym Arabella Dusk, the rumored heiress turned madam turned poetess. Okay. Skeleton songs. Cool. What can I explore? What happens if I go here? Change of premises. If we move our base of occupation here, if we should so choose. Let's do that. This will permanently relocate your headquarters. It's no return is possible. It can reduce notoriety. Maybe this will immediately... Yes, see? It grabbed the notoriety that this guy was about to grab in 9 seconds, and now he'll only be able to grab Mystique, and he can't improve his case because we went and hid. So it's like the cop was onto us. He was going to find us like in that house that we had been staying in. Now we're moving into that hotel. I mean, the hotel. The hospital. Becomes a hotel. Place behind desire, a little glimmering. Oh, just a random chalice event. But we managed to nuke one of our own notorieties, and that is about as good as it can get. Because now it grabs Mystique, because there is no notoriety to take. Great timing. Ooh, Dr. Ib al-Adam. Called the Aleppan. Okay, Syrian. Has an interest in overlooked history. He could use your assistance. Oh, so he's a patron. Nice to meet you, fella. When I talk to him, he might need something. First, let's trap this dread. Let's just get rid of that. Actually, we're going to see what it was. Okay, it was reason. We're going to lose our reason in a minute. And that means that we're going to be moving to make another lesson learned. I wonder if it's going to cost us 3 lesson learns to do that, which we can do by... Ooh, it's going to be close. It is going to be close, but fortunately we have this collection of essays. Alt scrap, sure. These be a thing. Okay, an erudition. That's what we wanted. Lantern things are happening. Back to the wood. Get someone in and trap this dread. Yeah. Slee. Someone who might actually... Oops, let's not talk to him. Let's recruit him. Trap the dread. Read this volume of the locksmith's dream. The woman in the sand-colored robe has told me the stairway of the mantis go ever up. Death is down, the mother of ants guards both directions with each of her heads, and so the passage must always be through a wound. I think the white door might be a wound. That's one reason the dead sometimes pass it. What? I think I have the other half of the secret now, and hope my reader can put both halves together. What? What secret? The white door might be a wound. Glimmering, okay. The Wood Whisperer, we already had this. Now we have two. We can combine them into something else. Wow. Okay, well that blows my mind. A little restless in here. Right. Let's get working on studying reason. Try to get that reason back that we just lost. Otherwise, we're going to be having trouble. 1 second. 1 second on that. Uh-oh. Okay, no. The reason might come back 47 seconds and not be dimmed. We'll have just enough time to go to our job. Hopefully just enough time to be close. Wouldn't that be something if we lost our job because of losing our reason here? Alright, so we changed to the hospital. We now moved to the hospital. We got rid of that notoriety. No address is really ever permanent. Like our bodies, we leave them all in the end. But for now, this is home. And it really ended the guy's case while it was going. So we did a daring escape out of our home and now live in an abandoned hospital. I think on that note, we're going to wrap up this episode. Thank you all for watching StehnZ play Cultist Simulator as we attempt to win an enlightenment victory with the lantern. It's going a bit slowly here, but we've made a lot of money this round. We've bought a lot of books. We are dealing with some problems, like this curse. And, you know, but I think we kind of stifled the policeman. Not going to be really getting much closer right now, because there's no notoriety for him to grab. And I'm going to hope that in the next episode, we're able to raid some more of these locations and really start to get ahead in figuring out how we're going to try to win here. Gotta find the right lore, the dream with the wood, and put the correct password in to get to our next stage of the Mantis. So, that's what we're hoping to find next time, and I will hope to see you all in that episode, and goodbye for now.